Hello, peoples. Welcome to the stream. How are y'all doing tonight? My name is Darsheen, aka Yoshi96, and welcome to another Pokken Tournament DX stream. Hope you guys have had a good week. Hope you're enjoying your weekend so far. We're here to see some exciting Pokken Tournament DX gameplay. We have a different top three this time around. It's not just, your insert TEC Cola Bear and what would it be, your boy here. There's been like three reigning people for quite some time, but we got it a little mixed up here. We got TEC, got Aldrake, we got TapuCocoa in our top three, and we're gonna be starting things off right away. But on the mic, gonna be helping me like a couple of weeks ago. He wasn't here for the end of the road, but he's here for Road to Greatness 41, starting off season 5. Y'all give a warm welcome to Aberration.
Hello. Thanks again for having me tonight, Sheen. I'm looking forward to seeing some of these matches, especially with some of these new faces that you mentioned.
Oh, absolutely, dude. It's gonna be great. Tapu, I've seen her do really good with this Shadow Mewtwo, so I'm curious like how we'll see her do against these other two in this top three. And then same with Aldrake, because I haven't seen Aldrake make it to these top three positions a lot. So I'm curious
Sure.
how this top three is going to unfold tonight.
Yeah. Hey, before I forget, I need I don't see the stream feed on my end.
Oh,
So
I'm
if you wouldn't
sorry. Let
mind
me do that real
pulling up.
fast. Yeah, you
I tried
mentioned
to be
it.
a little more discreet on Discord, but you didn't see.
I'm
So
I'm gonna just
I tried to
disable
say,
streamer mode on Discord so I can hear pings. Hopefully it doesn't become too much of a thing. If it does, I'll just end up putting streamer mode back
yeah,
on.
no worries.
But it's off for the meantime. I'm gonna share screen. Gotta help the man's out so he can help y'all with enjoying the stream. Alright, OBS. Okay, how about now?
Perfect.
There we
Got it.
go. There we go. And then I'll lower that to 480 just so that Discord doesn't decide to take too much a bit rate from OBS. Don't need any more frames dropping. But
Oh yeah, no.
yes. Okay, we here. But yeah, hope you guys once again are doing well in chat. We might hopefully see some activity. We might see some people rooting for their favorite player, and then maybe we'll see some votes with the polls that I'll put up through the channel points voting. Without further ado, let's start this off with winners finals between TEC and Aldrake.
I assume Aldrake is probably going to run Garchomp.
No,
Oh no, he's
actually,
actually running the Lucario this time.
Lucario. And running on the secondary profile, you see that E5? Definitely not E5.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot he has a Lucario, so it'll be interesting to kind of see how this matchup plays out, because this can be really interesting depending on the way Aldrake makes use of some of Lucario's tools.
Oh yeah, and then seeing this match open up immediately with TEC, just opening up this pressure with the first field phase and going back into the field phase with the bug bite. And Staples keeping Aldrake at bay. Ooh. Good counterattack from Aldrake, trying to get themselves back in this. It was a little bit delayed, it looked like, but a critical hit grab, gonna get that triangle advantage in that moment with the bone rush as well, pushing them TEC into this corner. Both good CADCs getting out of their corners, but TEC pushing Aldrake back in this corner, using the wall to get this last bit of damage in. Man, this is looking like a very TEC round in the beginning, but this could turn around as we're seeing with the command counter from Aldrake. TEC's opening it back up with more of these very solid Caesar strings. ending with the signature bug bite. Once again, both players have their synergy. Only 10 seconds remain in this round. Gonna get the homing attack to outlast that counter. Aldrake with the pressure. Greninja coming in to pop them up and gonna get another string of hits, but not gonna get the complete bone rush. Both players going to their synergies. Oh, the counter going through. Oh, wait. The synergy. Oh, my God. Jeez. Aldrake came in with the burst attack at that last possible moment. And then let me actually, give me one quick second here, because Riggs saying his frames are dropping like nobody's business. Let's just...
Yeah, I was gonna say something.
Alright, let me just switch my connection over. Hopefully that will solve it. So it'll dip the stream for like 30 seconds, hopefully at most, but we will be right back on here. I don't know if it'll keep me from the call. It might, but well, let's take this one.
The end, but was the Aldrake reacting to TEC's jump A? I looked like he was reacting to a jump A with the burst attack at the end of that at the end of that round there.
All I know is that Snivy came out, and I think it was Aldrake's Snow. No, it was TC's Snivy, and it broke Aldrake's counter, but they were able to. I don't know if they like had time to like shield whatever else TC was going for after the fact. You said like you said a jump A, and then they like went for the burst attack on that land like when that was coming down. That's what it looks like it happened to me.
Okay, I couldn't tell for sure because of the dropped frames, but that's for just a wee bit of a nanosecond. That's kind of what I saw.
Okay, got you. Alright, we're gonna continue this right now. Just resizing this other text because Aldrake's tag was kind of big up there at the top. Alright, we good. Sorry for the interruption. Let's get the action back underway. Round number 2. Oh, jeez. That homing attack completely missed. TEC gonna get that counter pickup real fast. The bullet punch is not gonna meet their mark. Alright, blocking all of those distant projectile, those distant physical hits, I should say. Snivy coming out. Gonna try to get the wake up option. Gonna find it with the grab. TC's finding this momentum here. What can Aldrake do in comparison? Nope, that's not going to be the option. That's going to be another counter for TEC. Trying to get that JY, but not going to get the mark on it. Try to do the JX, not JX, 2X instead. And he's going to pick up this string. Oh, continuing this, Aldrake getting that JY from field. You were saying interesting that...
Oh, I was just noticing Aldrake. I had just noticed Aldrake was running the Frogadier. I don't know if but it looks like the way he's setting it up. He's setting it up in a way that makes it a little harder for TEC to back Y on reaction. So I was just pointing out, I was just kind of postulating what Aldrake might be trying to do with the Frogadier call. And here he is calling it again. Oh, but he was actually able to block the back Y in time. So I wonder if he's making use of the Frogadier in a way that's going to help him close the space here against TEC.
Oh, and speaking of TEC, he's keeping this pressure going here with the synergy enhancements. With the bug bite, finishing it all for game 1. Alright, good stuff to TEC to open this up. Sorry?
Yeah, Aldrake, it looks like Aldrake's having a little trouble early on trying to play around TEC's counterattack. I noticed in that last round, I saw a little bit of Aldrake doing a neutral jump on reaction to the charge up CA. So it may have, I what I'm probably thinking is that Aldrake was trying to um, potentially bait out the hover stance cancel Y, where Scizor does the rushing punches out of hover stance. That is one option you could use to avoid certain advancing special attacks. So that's what it looked like Aldrake was kind of going for early on, but because TEC was not committing to the hover stance Y and staying in counterattack at times where Aldrake was not expecting him to, he wasn't quite able to get out some of those call outs that Aldrake was looking for, and TEC was able to take advantage of that as he took that first game there.
Yes, yes. Also, I was typing in between that, and I didn't want to interrupt the gameplay or your commentary there, but Baron Corvo was saying to you, saying, "Yo, it's my man Aberration on the mic. That's hype."
Well, thank you, Baron, for tuning in. I'm glad to see you are with us tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And then also there were some follows. Thank you, Vanny Star, for following. Your follow actually put me at my first follower goal for the year, 250 followers. We got that bridge, the first milestone of the year. Let's go. Thank you. And of course, thank you Gold DXJ for the follow as well. Got me on the path to my next goal with the one more follow, 251 as of right now. So thank y'all for following. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoy what you see here. And then Vanny said, glad to be the bridge to that goal. Hey, let's go. Thank you again. And then Baron giving you that compliment, saying, yeah, he's a real scientist of the game to you. Oh, another follow. Let's go. Did somebody raid me or something? Oh, TEC's hosting me. That's what happened. Let's go, hey. TEC. Thank you for the host. That's what happened. I was like, yo, all these names popping up. Let's get it. Phileas Boost V2 for following. Thank you. If I butchered that name, I'm sorry. Please correct me if I did. Alright, but this little bit of communication aside between chat, let's keep the action going, shall we? Let's keep on moving in this set. Because that was just that was game one.
Yeah. I wonder if Aldrake's gonna make any changes here well, it looks like he's sticking with the Lucario. I don't know if he's still gonna keep running the Frogadier or if he's gonna make a change to another support. I remember in our interview with TEC a couple weeks ago, he talked about Rayquaza kind of being a good support counter pick against Scizor, which I did see your boy run last week. Oh, he's actually got Aldrake's got the Eevee this time around.
Oh, going for the. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just adding on to Eevee.
Yeah, so he's probably gonna look to the attack buff to get a little bit more damage off of the favorable exchanges that he can get, like this one right here.
Yeah, they were going for that complete sweep, trying to get that force palm to seal the deal away before it could begin. But TEC was able to keep that shield up and not let this perfect happen. Got the Snivy ready to help support when it is necessary. Oh, the Aura Sphere gonna just snipe that backdash. That was a very very uncharacteristically haphazard dash that TEC did, and Aldrake capitalized on it beautifully there. But Swords Dance into all this.
Bit of an uncoupled.
Yeah, they were definitely. I was adding that. Yeah, they were definitely in an uncomfortable spot because Aldrake just had a lot of pressure in that first round. And as we see that pressure continue, the TEC's adjusting in this second round, using that sniper to get that knockdown, and then getting these couple wins in these attack triangles, taking that second round rather convincingly.
And that was a nice use of hover dash to bait out the wake up E speed from Aldrake. That's one of the things that TEC does really well with Scizor, is utilize his movement to bait out certain actions from the opponent, or to create spacings where he can utilize some of Scizor's tools to set up good situations for him like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. TC's movement has been one of his staples that I've noticed ever since they started dominating this series from the end of season 2, and ever since then, like, they've been really consistent with being known for their movement. And just like that, it was 2 CDCs in a row, getting out of that tight situation in the corner, picking it up with another combo. Bug Bite, gonna get some more HP in their gauge. And speaking of gauges, both of their synergy gauges are full, and they could use their burst whenever they feel the need to do so. Aldrake's looking at about their last bit of health here. Could that grabby it? Leaving 4 HP left. They are happy, left with no choice but to let this burst come out. The Eevee support here, trying to enhance all they can. Oh wait, the burst attack though? Going right through their swords dance. I'm not sure if this would be enough with the boosts. More than likely not, but that's a good... Oh my god, it made it even. And TEC is going to go into burst as well. Gonna do the exact same thing. Oh, but just out of range! Oh!
Yeah, TEC had the right idea, trying to react to the Aura Sphere with a burst, but he was just a little bit off in the spacing. Aldrake made some really good... Aldrake made a couple of really good plays at the end, towards the end of that round there, with the reaction to Swords Dance into the hover stance canceled to punish that with the burst attack on reaction. It was, and like I mentioned before, well, Lucario was already, with his health being as low as it was, combined with the attack boost from burst. But he was already going to get a combined boost to his damage from rage and burst. But the Eevee also probably helped in that situation as well with the attack buff. So all of those kind of came together to help him win that second match.
Yeah, speaking of Eevee, because Baron said something about Scizor using Bug Bite could end up stealing the Eevee support, like the enhancement, away. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. Scizor, when Scizor uses Bug Bite, he can get some recoverable health as well as be able to steal buffs from the opponent. That's kind of one of the neat little things about Bug Bite. It's kind of a similar call to the mainline games where you're stealing berries, I believe, from your opponent, or is that, I might be getting that mixed up with Pluck, but
that sounds like Pluck actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that is Pluck. My bad, but that's still kind of a nice little thing to have there.
And that just adds another layer to Scizor, how they can do that kind of thing. All right, but jumping into round numero 3. TEC Aldrake winners finals. Both have a point on the scoreboard. Who will be able to establish a lead and get one step closer to taking this and getting into the winner side of Grands? Right now we have them going back and forth. TEC picking up this grab and pushing Aldrake into this middle of this field phase, trying to get that grab Aldrake, but TEC with the tech prepared for that. Oh my god, and picking up the grab themselves. Gonna get the Bug Bite, recovering HP in the process, using staples to bait their shield up. Used the, I want to say that's their up A or back A to space
Are you talking about the punish on Frogadier?
Yes, that.
Yeah, that was Scizor's field phase back Y.
Back Y, thank you.
Yes.
I knew it was back something. It was very well spaced, giving him that win in that round. And Aldrake actually getting a lot in the second round. Just doing every motion right that they can. Alright, blocking these hits from afar. TEC's not wavering with their offense though. They were able to go through the aura sphere and make their way in with their staples. Bullet punch from afar. Gonna sweep underneath the counter. Aldrake getting a good couple of bone rushes in there. Gonna throw out Frogadier, but nothing for TEC. Gonna see DC through it, but Aldrake was prepared for it and got the homing attack. We are dead even in terms of rounds and games right now. Final round, game 3. Ooh, good critical hit counterattack from TEC. Just kind of weaving in and out, ready for Aldrake's shield to go up, getting this grab to go into field phase once again. Snivy is ready to be of assistance, and both players have their synergy. Ooh, good clash there. TEC was ready for Aldrake's homing attack and countered accordingly. And Aldrake's going to be the first to pop their burst, but TEC is going to be immediately after. Catching the end of the jump? Oh, that's going to be an unsafe option for TEC. Alright, Frogadier coming out, but Snivy's going to answer in kind. Alright, both of them were blocked. But gonna find a way through that and get that bone rush in there. Ooh, try to get the... Yeah, they went for the enhanced extreme speed, but TEC was able to catch the very end of it with the very end of the landing. Jumping over the swords dance, trying to get the cross up Aldrake, but the JX will not find its mark. TEC was ready to counter it. Jumping over the bullet punch, but gonna get caught in the air anyway. Really good catch by TEC to finish off that game.
Yeah, there was a number of interesting little interactions there. A lot of the times in duel phase, it looked like Aldrake was, as we saw in that last interaction, was relying on forward jump, usually to call out sometimes to his success. He called out a swords dance or a bullet punch a time or two, and was able to get some good conversions off of those. But when Scizor does have the swords up, there is always the follow-up from the bullet punch, as we saw right there, catching the jump after the initial bullet punch attack, which is easy to forget about sometimes. So you could sometimes get clipped by that follow-up, and that's what TEC was able to take advantage of there to take that last game, or to take that the third game.
Well, it's very good awareness from TEC's part that puts him a game above in this set now. Can they close it out right here, or can Aldrake make this a game 5 situation? We're watching the action unfold right now with his first counterattack, starting it off in TEC's favor. Both of them just trying to find the best position, being out of distance of that bullet punch at first, but gonna find a swords dance into the string. TEC pushing Aldrake to the corner and back into field phase in the middle of this battlefield. The staples pushing the back. Snipe gonna come out, gonna go around that command counter, not gonna find the pickup off of the fall. But Aldrake gonna start their own bit of damage. Gonna call upon Frogadier. Oh, not gonna find their dash in attack there. Gonna have a fully charged counter. TEC pushing it back in their corner, not corner, in their momentum. Outrunning the staples there, running past them, rather, running out of their range. Ooh, good. That was good anti-air from Aldrake, starting another string, but gonna drop that last part of it, jumping over the not Greninja, Frogadier. The grab of that counter was so smart from Aldrake, seeing that it was going to be one of the options that TEC would go for. All right, they're going in their burst. So is Aldrake. 5 seconds left. Who's gonna get the call first? Gonna grab him. Enhanced grow up. Well, the enhanced power, that'll give them enough just to give them that HP lead in that timeout. Very good from TEC.
That was real close. Aldrake had a couple of good answers in that last match, such as the Bone Rush on the reaction to Staples. Lucario's Bone Rush actually can erase projectiles in field during the active frames. So he had that, as well as the Frogadier setup that let him grab during the active armor. But TEC was just able to clutch some of that out at the very end.
And speaking of clutch out, TEC was just flowing with just damage output for a while there, and just still going with it. This bug bite might do it. That is going to be a 3-1 victory for TEC. Very, very solid. All right, let's reach out for the losers final replays. I will put this lovely little graphic up here in the meantime. What do you have? What do you have to say from like that last game, or like what do you think about that set overall, like between these two?
Yeah, overall, Aldrake had a couple of interesting Aldrake had a couple of good choices and some select interactions that I've already touched up on before. But one of the things that really stood out to me during that match during that set was, once again, TEC's use of movement in the neutral. Like I said, when Aldrake would often try to use either a neutral jump or a forward jump to call out specific options, TEC would be ready at times to cancel out with the hover stance or hover dash backwards and put him in the proper spacing that he needed to catch the whiffs on the landing. And there were little other moments throughout the match where TEC was able to display his matchup knowledge. Like I said, with the Frogadier calls in field phase. We've seen in matches past where TEC would be ready to punish that on reaction with the back Y. Although Aldrake did make a bit of an adjustment there towards the end when he started to try to call Frogadier on Oki in field, or he would save it for duel. And we saw that in the last match as well, when he had TEC in the corner, and TEC looking for an opportunity to hover stance cancel parry from the Frogadier to try and catch Aldrake overextending with some pressure. Aldrake was able to take advantage of that to grab him. But other than that, TEC was able to kind of hold out and hold his own throughout that match for some of the reasons I've described before.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it was definitely like a lot of solid interactions, like you said, because it was very cool seeing how they basically did a mirror of the other in the, I think that was the end of that was the first round of game 2, or was it actually the end of the round of 1 where we saw that first because I think it was first TEC went for, no, Aldrake went for the burst first, like, and they were trying to catch a landing. Yeah, it was in separate rounds. Yeah, because first because Aldrake was able to catch TEC, like when they threw out a swords dance. It was mid animation and they were able to go through, and then TEC did the same thing when I think Aldrake was trying to do an aura sphere, and then they did burst attack back in kind. And it was really cool seeing that they had like that similar idea, and they were able to notice that like the exact moment where they're like, okay, yeah, this moment like this move has this cooldown. I could definitely get in here real fast and get this to work.
Yeah, that's kind of a major thing as well with well, particularly in this matchup, but with just Lucario in general, is that his burst mode can really give him some needed momentum to like get in when it might be hard to otherwise approach Scizor, but also look for that opening where he can punish with the burst attack.
Mhm.
But there was a couple of times I also noticed throughout the match uh, where Aldrake had the burst on deck, but he had he was behind in the life lead, but he didn't. The time was running down, and he hadn't yet kind of popped it. So I think there was at least 1 or 2 rounds that we saw throughout that set where Aldrake was a little bit seemed to be a little late to pop the, and that might have been one of the things that kind of held him back in the set. But he still there were a couple of moments throughout the set where he did make good use of the burst. But TEC was, but yeah, it's overall TEC was still able to capitalize when he needed to as well.
Oh yes, it was definitely back and forth in the very beginning, but like as you were saying, TEC was able to make better use of the of their synergy, like using the burst, because yeah, it was interesting that Aldrake wasn't using the burst. I think Lucario is one that gets their synergy to feel like not the fastest, but not the slowest either. Like they're really balanced, I believe.
So basically, Lucario is in the tier that's the second quickest in terms of getting burst. So he would be like
Burst to
so
Pikachu, then okay.
Yeah, burst Pika, Pika Libre, Weavile, and Shadow Mewtwo all get their burst the fastest, and then the second tier has characters like Lucario, Braixen, and the like that have 100 it basically they're fast enough that they can fairly reliably get burst at least once each round, sometimes twice if you have enough momentum and you win field phase enough times. So that can be a major that can be kind of a major shift in the tide of a match when Lucario can really take advantage of it.
Okay, yeah. It always baffles me when someone doesn't use their synergy burst, as soon as possible, because as a Pikachu, I'm like, oh, I got burst, immediate use. But no, the strategy it changes dramatically depending on character and mindset for player.
Yeah, some characters also just don't get burst nearly as often, and they have to be more judicious with their burst usage. The most obvious example being a character like Mewtwo, who usually just only gets it once for an entire match.
Oh geez, yeah, that is true.
Yeah, it's just it kind of depends on the character, but in Lucario's case, he has a bit more liberty to kind of decide when to pop the burst, especially like especially if in particular matchups where he really needs the momentum to like get in and like kind of pin down Scizor, and really threaten some of the options he has and that he only has in burst that he doesn't have outside of it. So
okay, all good.
really
Yeah, I was saying all
yeah,
the really good
lose
points.
finals replay?
I do. I finished collecting those just now, a minute or so ago, because
Cool.
yeah, got them from Tapu. So we will be seeing TapuCocoa and Aldrake for losers final. 2 of the newbies in top 3. Like newbies for like the past while at least. because they're both not strangers to getting top 8. Tapu has gotten top 8 a number of times or so, so like she's definitely no slouch at all.
Right.
Now I was just responding back to Shadow Mewtwo confirming that Bug Bite in the main games does in fact steal and eat berries.
Oh, it does. Okay, I had that right. Thank you.
Dude, you did have that right.
I thought it was what it did in the games. I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah, Baron was saying pretty sure, and then Shadow Mewtwo confirmed it.
Yeah, thank you for confirming that. I assume probably in this next match we'll likely see Shadow Mewtwo on TapuCocoa's and possibly versus Garchomp, but I believe TapuCocoa, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't he also have a Lucario?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so I wasn't 100% on that. So it's, yeah, I would imagine Tapu is probably going to run Shadow Mewtwo because the Lucario. A lot of Lucario players don't like, tend to not like the Garchomp matchup, mainly because of Jump Release X being able to invalidate Lucario's anti-air in 8Y. So, but I could be wrong. Maybe there's something different he believes, or maybe there's something he could take advantage of in that matchup. But we'll have to.
Oh, she, by the way.
Hmm?
Tapu is she. She's a lady. TapuCocoa, you were saying he. Sorry, I was trying to be.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. But regardless,
I think it's me kind of assuming that, unless otherwise, I tend to assume a lot of people online are like dudes.
that's why I tend to always say like they if I'm not quite sure. But since I
noticed that.
Yeah, but since I've seen and like heard her on Dev's streams, I'm sure that it of the femaleness. We're gonna start playback of Losers Final. And then Vanny's saying that yeah, she does have Lucario, so we were both thinking right.
So it is the Shadow Mewtwo Garchomp match.
Shadow Mewtwo Garchomp. Back to the basics of both of these players, or what they're most known for at the very least. I forgot to put the poll up for the last one, but I will get to do that right here. Start the prediction as we see this game unfold between Shadow Mewtwo and Garchomp. Two tall Pokemon, so the camera kind of adjusts to fit the more monster-like perspective. Win users. Alright, use them points, people. We got, let's see. I'll make it a 5-minute submission period. Start them predictions now. Oh my god, Twitch, you're so sensitive. I can't spell out losers. L finals then. Start prediction. Anyway. Aldrake already having Tapu at their last parts of their health. 30 seconds remaining in this game. That shield is looking very red, but they go for the side strike, the just frame along with it. Oh, the mean look, making those projectiles come back, kept that shield up, and they dropped shield there. So Tapu taking that first round. Oh, Aldrake saw the little moment in between of hesitation in that shield and went for that homing attack. But TapuCocoa gonna get the anti-air into the pillar. Flamethrower, not gonna meet its full mark. An empty hop there from Aldrake, not gonna do anything much off it, but gonna miss their JX. Tapu gonna capitalize. Alright, the Shadow Mewtwo is gonna use their burst like we were talking about, one of the faster Pokemon to get their burst attack. Gonna combo into it. This might be slightly scaled. Coming down with that Frieza Death Ball. Gonna add some damage. Alright, that's not gonna get any more off of it quite yet. But Aldrake gonna start coming alive from the opposite side. The Eevee support from Tapu. Oh, but will it support enough though with these burst attacks, these swipes? Is that enough to kill? It is.
Yeah, Shadow Mewtwo's pretty frail.
That they are. They are the definition of glass cannon.
We've seen a few times in field where Aldrake will, I've noticed, will do a homing attack. He's been doing like the charge. He's been doing the charge version to kind of mix it up. Now we got Tapu in the driver's seat this time in field. That was a good mix up into the grab.
Yeah, very much. So it's adding to her momentum in this final round. Ooh, but gonna get that impactful win in that trade. Aldrake getting big damage here. Ooh, but the attack from Tapu in the corner, not gonna take those hits sitting down. She's gonna take that first game in losers final.
That was kind of unfortunate. There was a few times the Aldrake was trying to set up the unblockable with the Miss Magius. But unfortunately he had mistimed it a couple of the 2 times he went for it. And that might have been able, and both times it would have gotten him the round.
Oh jeez.
But unfortunately he was just a little off, allowing TapuCocoa to squeeze her way out of it, out of danger each time. So it's because both of while Garchomp can do a lot of damage to Shadow Mewtwo, Shadow Mewtwo similarly has a lot of damage output as well. So you really have to capitalize on those few times, or those times you do get in on Shadow Mewtwo, because if you don't, the next favorable interaction that Shadow Mewtwo gets could determine the round for him.
Well, it looks like Aldrake is taking that advice to heart, because they're trying to give Tapu as little room to work with as possible. Getting another solid read there, just going right through the option TapuCocoa was going for. The Eevee's there to support, giving some HP back and some buffs. But will they have enough time to use said buffs? Aldrake on the offensive once again. But had Tapu making their way out of the corner, teleporting back and gonna get the burst. Good mix up, having Aldrake drop their shield in that moment. It's gonna be another good chunk of damage. A little less than half their HP now. So getting close to a more even game here. The teleport not gonna get that, I want to say like charged JX. I'm not sure what that would be.
That would be JX, yeah.
Good. Okay, I'm learning. Ooh, the stalemate there for a second. Both shields, but Tapu gonna drop and Aldrake's gonna capitalize on it. That first round going to them. Let's see what could be done differently here. Ooh, the counter on that counter, or CDC around the counter, getting that good grab to start things off on this round. The Eevee is ready as well for TapuCocoa. Ooh, good Shadow Ball. But jumping past that pillar, Aldrake, oh my god, the slam! But taking that grab, Tapu not gonna get shit out of his face just yet. That's definitely a punish. That a lot of end lag on that on that move Aldrake went for. Alright, once again we are seeing Synergy Burst, and that's gonna be another read or punish rather. That could very well be the round for TapuCocoa here. Very unsafe option, just might have cost. Not yet. 27 HP left. They're going to use their burst, try to do the impossible, fight from a very big deficit. But Tapu not going to give them the chance. Good pick up grab there. Dead even game. Final round. Alright, projectiles the mean look. Stabilizing them for a second. But gonna get the anti-air. Aldrake. Alright, then Miss Magius. What are they gonna go for here? It was just fabled unblockable. Oh my god, oh my god, the critical hit counter read with this grab. Oh my god, this damage is insane. Didn't give her a chance to breathe in that last round.
Yeah, that was like 2 interactions. Like
It
2
was.
interactions, or well, not really 2, but it might as well have been 2 interactions.
3 at most.
Yeah, it was 3, but those the 2 that followed were huge damage. The setup for the Miss Magius, following the phase shift, Tapu Tapu wanted to kind of get out of that, the pressure from Miss Magius, but Aldrake was ready for the jump back and put her in the corner for the schmicks at the end. Aldrake's been doing pretty well throughout the set of kind of walking Tapu down into the corner. But he so up until that last match, he hadn't been quite been able to clinch out those interactions on Wake Up until that last match. So Tapu Aldrake was able to get the correct reads he needed to close out that round and take the second game there.
Yes, it was very good adaptation from Aldrake's part to get themselves on the board here. And we have another viewer here. My man 20XX is in the chat. Yo, what's good? They are here from like I mentioned before stream, I believe. They had B Metal, a mutual friend of ours, on their podcast. So they're coming here. They were chilling, and then now trying to, well, not trying to. They are here. They are here vibing with us with some Pokken tournament. So thank you for coming through the stream, 20. Hope you're enjoying this here gameplay that you're seeing unfold before your very eyes. Going back and forth here. Garchomp was starting it off, but Tapu's Shadow Mewtwo was getting some damage in, but Aldrake back in the driver's seat. Ooh, the jump over, good critical hit. Alright, having the shield, try to get that mix up there, but Aldrake still kept that shield up. Both of them is ready for the other to drop their shield. The collision in the air, readjusting their positions. Alright, the JY into a string here. Aldrake's pushing all the way to the other side of the stage. Miss Maggie is coming out for this slow, ominous pressure. Keep that shield up and gonna break it going into this next phase. Ooh, outlasting the counter and reading it accordingly. Very strong from Aldrake in that starting round.
Yeah, that was a nice. Aldrake did a good job at responding to how Tapu was starting her pressure with the 6X. So after the burst, he called it out with the neutral jump, and then towards the end of that last round, we saw Aldrake respond to the counter attack charge with the release X, which is what multi-hit attacks like release X tend to be really good at doing, is beating out counter attacks on reaction.
Throughout that whole thing, I was just witnessing Aldrake just delete Tapu's health gauge, but Tapu was putting up a fight back for a bit in field phase, but Aldrake was able to close it out. Like that one wall combo they did where they charged down and then up on the wall, I was like, yo, what is this movement?
Yeah, the land shark does big damage.
Jesus, as we see, that's gonna be a W for Aldrake, putting them in the lead of this set at the moment. So we shall keep this going. We have game number 4 upon us. And then Vanny adding to saying that was a sick release X. And Twain says this is hype. And he got the Wooloo emotes. The Wooloo hype. Yes, sir. Alright. From seeing it from Shadow Mewtwo's perspective. Got that power emanating from them. They're trying to get back into this. Let's see if Tapu can readjust themselves and take this next game. And we're seeing the immediate homing attack. But geez, that just really quick hit Aldrake did. Just kind of like a really quick sucker punch to the knee or something. But, oh, the read on the wake up. Good grab on that critical, that counter attempt from Tapu. But very smart patience from TapuCocoa. Not gonna get sucked in by that, I want to say that's the like command counter Garchomp has. It works as a grab.
Yeah.
Stone Edge, yes. Oh, that pillar comboing into the burst attack. Very nice from TapuCocoa. Sending it down to the earth. Alright, shaking things up, but not enough where it's the end of their health just yet. Just one hit was like enough to do almost as much as that burst attack. I cannot with this character. Garchomp is just on another level of damage output. Taking that with that final grab. Starting this off. TapuCocoa going in with the Eevee support. But but getting reads like that and pickups, who knows if they'll even need it at this rate. Gonna hold on to it, possibly trying to carry it into a possible final round here. But also having their synergy burst out the ready. Yep, she will be using it first. Will Aldrake follow suit? Well, they're gonna do that first. And gonna get the Stone Edge there. And pick up this big damage. Interesting to go for the synergy in the middle of a string. I'm not sure what the thought process was there. But hey, they're in synergy as well. No, wait, no, they're in synergy themselves. I think Tapu already used it. Yeah, they already used their synergy. And already almost halfway to getting it again. Jeez, the counter from TapuCocoa.
So what Aldrake was trying to do when he went for the string into the wall splat followed by the synergy burst declare, he was resetting his phase shift points.
Oh.
So yeah, so it would have, if he were able to convert off of that, it would have allowed him to potentially close out the round with a ton of damage on the reset.
Man, that was such a smart idea. Ooh, but we're seeing.
Whenever you see someone do that, yeah, that's what they're doing.
Okay, gotcha. Ooh, but TapuCocoa gonna reset this into another phase shift here, getting that good grab. And they do have Eevee at the ready, but will they need the little fox? Oh my god, but Aldrake's being pushed into a corner here. That shield is looking very small, but that's gonna get the side strike. TapuCocoa gonna even the stakes once again, 2-2. We're gonna see a game 5.
I think this is the second time now we've seen where TapuCocoa will, when she pressures Aldrake to the point of having the red shield, she automatically anticipates she kind of automatically anticipates that Aldrake is going to push some kind of button or retaliate with some kind of attack. So she immediately calls it out with the side strike. And both times so far, we've seen her do that to success. So we'll see if Aldrake kind of takes notice of that and tries to adapt, maybe with a Stone Edge, or maybe try to outlast, maybe try to, or maybe in anticipation of like a grab or something, try to use a different option like a backdash. But that's something that's an interaction we've seen a couple times that I've noticed throughout this set and thought it would be worth pointing out.
Yeah, that's like the only like side strike is just a good option to use because like the only thing that could really do anything against it would be a grab in that situation, or like a move that has grab properties like Stone Edge, like you said.
Yeah, the counter attack.
Yeah, the counter attack. And then Aldrake was in chat real fast. Was I bet Tapu used side strike just because. He's like, what if she was just doing it, dude?
Yeah, it was actually a pretty high risk on her part because I don't think Side Strike actually breaks shield. So
Oh, okay, that's a
yeah,
good point.
she kind of went for the hard call out.
Oh, Jip, what was that? It was a cross up side strike there. Like it hit, but it like got their feet and made them go the opposite way, so he couldn't get the full hit
Yeah,
of it.
Side Strike will cover both in front and behind you. So it is a great
That's wild.
it is a great option against uh, cross ups. So, but in this case, she threw it out in anticipation that he'd either go for a reset or drop the combo, which happened in this case.
It was an unfortunate drop combo, but not gonna drop this one. Look, it was more than what they had in the first place of how much damage Aldrake did in that moment. My God, missing that grab just now was very pivotal for TapuCocoa because that could have gotten around for Aldrake. Ooh, gonna follow him real fast with the homing attack, but charging it might have been Tapu's downfall in that moment. Charging that JX for a moment there. Gonna get the homing attack anyway to connect. They just got their burst. Gonna use it immediately. Will they be able to get something out of it? Oh, gonna use it after the down frame. Not down frames. The end. The end. God, I'm failing English.
Recovery.
The recovery of that move Aldrake was going for. Gonna get a beautiful punish with that burst attack.
Yeah, that was pretty gutsy. Trying to go for the reset on the homing attack there, because Tapu would have been able most likely to get the synergy burst without giving Aldrake the opportunity to pop his own burst. But as we saw there, Tapu was able to get another homing attack to get the burst regardless, and she was
Mm-hmm.
able to she made a clutch call on the call out against Dragon Claw, which was the advancing attack you saw a minute ago. Um, Garchomp, a lot of Garchomp players, once they get their burst and have a fair amount of space from their opponent, one of the things they like to do uh, is throw out the Dragon Claw in neutral, and with if the Dragon Claw connects, they can hit confirm that into the into the burst attack. But TapuCocoa, anticipating that he would go for that to try to close out the round and take the last game with that confirmed, she established that spacing that she needed to set up the whiff punish. So that was good foresight and a clutch call by TapuCocoa in that situation.
Oh yes, for sure. And then thank you, Aldrake and Vanny in chat. They answered Riggs before I was able to because I was about to focus because I was focused on answering that real fast, but they beat me to the punch. But yes, great set, good analysis of said set, and now we're about to see grand finals between TEC and TapuCocoa. This would be very interesting to say the least. More than likely would be the Caesar's Shadow Mewtwo, or maybe it's a different choice that Tapu will try to go for against the Buck Boy specialist. We will be seeing momentarily as soon as I get replays from TEC. So we're gonna put
Wonder
this.
if we'll see another Lucario Sizzler.
Right, that's what I was thinking. I'm wondering if we're gonna see Tapu's Lucario.
Although I would imagine Tapu, since she mains, if I'm not mistaken, she mains Shadow Mewtwo. So going up against a caliber player like TEC, she probably is. I would imagine might want to stick with her main.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But catch up 9111. I think that's 4 1s. Yes. Thank you for the follow 2 minutes ago. I was gonna do the at for that and say thank you, but then I was gonna respond to Riggs. But as I said, I like good people from chat responded back to that. But I can respond to you with my voice. Thank you for the follow. Puts me at 253 followers. Thank you for dropping by the stream. Hope you're doing all right. And then the prediction ended with TapuCocoa did get 2 votes, so the people that voted, they got those points distributed back to them. So good job on that selection. And now we're just in the process or waiting on seeing if we can get these replays for the grand finale. Yeah, we got a decent crowd here. How's everybody doing tonight? Glad you decided to come and chill. Wait, did I still have the football and soccer tag on here? I thought I took that off. This ain't Strikers. Strikers was yesterday, and it was hype. we beat the Star Cup on Legend mode. It was something. And we tried the Bowser Cup, but that didn't go too well. But let's see. What are relevant topics in the meantime? Oh, let's see.
While we wait on the replay, I'm gonna step away just for a brief moment.
All right, no problem, no problem. Yeah, in the meantime, topic of discussion if anybody has one, or if anybody just has like a question for me. It doesn't even have to be related to Pokken or Road to Greatness. I'm down to just have like a little quick little just chatting intermission before Grands. Just so we can keep some liveliness here. Because yes, it'll be a few minutes before we get TEC because they have to do something before they get their setup. So yes. Actually, I guess I have one little just quick question. It's probably an obvious one, but the majority of people watching, are y'all mainly here from TEC's channel, from him hosting me? That's all I can really think of. Cause it was like 4 or 5 max last I looked at it, and then next thing I knew it popped off and there were like 20 people. I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming through to the stream. And then just general question, has the stream been playing fine for you guys so far? Like, have the games been running smoothly? Have my voice been coming in smoothly? I don't see any dropped frames whatsoever in OBS, so switching back over to my main connection has been proving fruitful in coming from the first time we were connected to the other connection.
Sorry about that. Hope I wasn't gone too long.
Nah, you weren't. I was just talking to my chat here. And then TEC was saying that it's gonna be a few minutes before they can get their setup. So we'll just be waiting for just a few minutes for them. I was asking everybody how the stream has been going so far for them, quality wise. Have the games been looking good? Has the sound been fine? Has there been any sort of lag since I readjusted my connection? Hopefully not, but I just wanted to get that confirmation. And then how has the commentary been going as well? I'll throw that question out there too. What you said?
Sorry, I was just gonna say that the feed on my end has been much better since you reset the connection.
Good.
So it hasn't really dropped at all since then. So it's been pretty good from at least my perspective.
All right, sweet, sweet. Yeah, I'm glad that's the case because, like I was saying in OBS, drop frames has just been a clean 0%. So definitely good to stay on that spectrum.
For sure.
Okay, wireless keyboard. There we go. I was like, why are you not working? Because I prefer to have the wireless keyboard in my lap instead of having to keep lean over to my laptop on the bed. Okay. For that keyboard. To not have you guys stare at the gather replays thing for, too many minutes, I'll just run a quick 1 minute ad break and we will resume from here. We may or may not have any replays quite yet after that minute ad break, but hopefully we'll get the start of something. So sit tight and we shall return. Okay, hello. We back on the mic. Sorry if that actually was a little bit longer than I want it to be for it being muted, but we do have grand finals ready to witness. So if you guys are ready to see it, I will showcase it. We got TapuCocoa and TEC. Excuse me, The Verge TEC. Switch those names around and put grand finals and just put this little apostrophe L by Tapu, signaling that she's coming from the underground bracket. And we're gonna get into this. So let's switch this to say sensitive information. Alrighty, righty. Are y'all ready to see this? Let's get it. This is actually going to be Tapu's second chance, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because no, Aldrake was in winners final.
Yeah, Aldrake was the one that played TEC in winners.
Right.
So I don't believe these two have met in bracket, I believe.
I do not think so. I was just taking a quick glance. No, actually, yeah. In round 2, TEC was one who sent Tapu to losers, but Tapu, but Tapu with the complete loser sweep. My goodness, and here we are seeing her against TEC once again in grand finals. She's getting a chance to get his run back. You love to see it. But TEC has been leading us in pressure so far. Oh my god, just the damage is dwindling. But the burst is rising. Synergy. Ready with Shadow Mewtwo. Gonna get that homing attack. Gonna dash in for that grab. There we go. I kind of thought she was going for a grab there. Like once I saw that sidestep in, I'm like, yeah, that's definitely gonna be a grab. The burst not gonna be, but that's gonna be some chip damage on that guard. A Lapras support. Interesting pick here. Doing it after the staples, jumping over. Oh, but gonna get hit after the landing though. TEC just knows how to vault any support in this game, dude. He can jump over a Quasar like it's nothing. Because we've seen that before.
Yeah.
Rayquaza what?
I know. I was just saying, if you have the right spacing, you can jump Rayquaza. So you do have to be careful when you call it out.
Oh yeah.
Same with the Lapras. But TEC, instead of doing like the neutral landing, did the jump X, and that left him open on whiff to get punished by the full Y.
Yeah, it was a little unfortunate misstep there from their part. Ooh, trying to get that 2X, but gonna get blocked. The mean look, the Shadow Ball, trying to get the mix up there, but TEC got one hit in there, and Tapu just retreated, got the Lapras. TEC, oh, we're gonna get the JY into the string here. Ooh, big damage, and gonna use the Just Frame side strike to cap it off. 1 HP remaining on Tapu, and the staples will clip it quite literally. Final round. Let's see who's gonna take this very first game here. Alright, the Lapras coming out. Alright, TEC is just gonna shield it. And gonna get, I'm not even sure what that move is called. Just swords for hands. Rushing in. There we go. Ooh, good ADC from TEC's part. Ooh, the 2X. Alright, Sylveon support. Gonna aid them in defense and HP. TEC's gonna go on the offensive here with the aid of Sylveon. Alright, gonna tap to stay in shield with those counterattacks. Gonna come in with the homing attack, like the first hit of the first one, and then try to go for the charge of the final one. Another homing attack there. Alright, floating away from the staples, reevaluating themselves, throwing out the Lapras from afar, trying to just get something else out. Gonna meet that. Oh, gonna actually cross up and land on the other side. The burst gonna miss. Burst attack gonna miss. Oh, missing that side strike was definitely big. TEC was able to punish big off of it. Alright, all these staples, swords dances, all these projectiles coming at a mile a minute, and the swords dance gonna put them on the wall, taking that game. Very good call out from TEC, noticing that Tapu was in the air and punished accordingly.
Yeah, we saw a fair bit of swords throughout that set. TEC was able to get a couple of good conversions off swords, and Tapu at first was having a bit of a hard time kind of dealing with the swords in neutral, but after a while, she in the second match, I believe, she waited for the swords and then jumped over, and it looks, because it seems like a lot of this matchup is going to be decided, it's kind of seems to be decided in the mid range, where you have tools like swords, Scizor's 5A, and Shadow Mewtwo's Pillar. We saw a couple of times that both characters rely on to kind of vary their approach and maybe start some pressure. But we more times for TEC saw he was able to get a couple of successful conversions off of swords, and as well as the swords Oki, baiting out the wake up side strike, which is one of the things swords is really good for as an Oki tool, is that it has a lot of hit stop to give Scizor a lot of time to kind of move out with a hover stance cancel to avoid certain options. So that was kind of the difference between the two that we saw in that first match that had decided it for TEC.
Okay, well pointed out. That like just the hover stance in general, like you pointed out in a couple of these analyses, it's just really good of just staying safe of like very close situations, because like they can hover like right over like a low profile hit, like just or use it to backdash, and it's just really crucial, like for Scizor, and TEC just using it really well.
For sure.
All right, so opening up this game number 2. Right now we have TapuCocoa so far with the damage lead, the HP lead. Oh, that grab! What? How'd that grab miss?
Oh, the sword stance still had her in block stun, so he mistimed the grab. He tried to go for the grab a little too early, which is why it went through the shield there.
Gotcha, and very good read to string for TapuCocoa to take that first round. Alright, throwing out the pillar and the shadow ball. We're gonna get hit by the swords dance. Flamethrower not gonna quite reach the Lapras support coming out though. Not fast enough to get it, and that counter will be fast enough and far reaching enough to give TEC the opening they needed to start this damage output. Or the staples pressuring this shield to up Tapu with TEC around, gonna glide, but not gonna be able to get the follow-up. The synergy burst. And then Sylveon supporting TEC. Just attack. Oh, good tech from Tapu. Not gonna get that grab. That would have definitely finished it off for TEC. Ooh, the hard hit into the combo burst. Very clean from TapuCocoa's part. Fighting with a slither of health left to their gauge. But a good bit of damage done to TEC. Can this be enough to start a comeback in this round? Mixing up their movement there. Oh, the staples after that dropped shield. TEC's able to get that pickup round.
Yeah, that was another match where we saw TEC get a crucial conversion off of the sword stance follow-up, but that time we saw Tapu. It looks like she was trying to teleport through the follow-up, but she mistimed it and got clipped by it.
Oh, I see. Ooh, really good good pickup from TapuCocoa there with that corner pressure on the wall. Alright, synergy burst once again. TEC is very close to synergy of their own. And I just talked it into existence. Will they feel the need to use it here to keep their lead up? It looks like they're thinking the words that I'm saying. But Tapu's already done with their burst on the on the journey to start their burst again. They're trying to get their burst up again. But TECs look like they're not gonna let that happen as this round continues. Got a combo burst attack through the Lapras, but Tapu was ready for it, blocking it. Very, very quick reaction time. Ooh, countering through all of those bullet punches. Oh, not gonna get that read there. Swords Dance. Bullet punch. Oh, the backdash was caught with that final projectile from TEC. Very, very good.
Yeah, it's if you I don't know if Tapu was expecting the follow up, or if she knew that the TEC had the swords up, but or if she was just trying to use the backdash to escape the follow up. But as we saw before in the match against Aldrake, the sword stance, or sorry, the bullet punch follow up has a fairly sizable hitbox and has a lot of active frames on it.
Hmm?
So you can't necessarily get out of it with like a backdash. So you have to use, unless
Yeah.
you have like a backdash with a lot of iframes, like you would see with like a Chandelure or a Gengar. Unless you have one of those kinds of backdashes, you got to use to get out of that follow up. You have to use a CADC, and sometimes you can get that, and you can actually get a punish off of that, I believe, if you do a CADC forward into an 11 frame option.
Well, yeah, seeing as how well, Shadow Mewtwo has like, what is their teleport? Like, is that like an actual input of like an action move for that Pokemon? Like,
Oh
could they have done
yeah,
that?
yeah. So Shadow, yeah, she actually, I wonder if she might have been able to get out of it with a teleport,
Yeah.
because teleport does have invincibility frames, frame one, but
Hmm.
she may have not. Yeah, but I think it was more in that situation. She might have opted for that to begin with if she was expecting to follow up. So it looked like she may have just not been ready for the follow up to begin with.
Okay. Speaking of follow-ups, TEC picking up all these follow-ups after another on Thalia Beach as our final, as our possible final, because they got 2 games here already on the board. Oh, but Tapu answering back with the only 1 HP to their name. The grab gonna get answered by a tech. TEC taking that round. They're on tournament point right here. This could be it for them, but can Tapu start a comeback? Very good anti-air, catching that jumping overlappers, left him vulnerable. Ooh, but gonna get some damage of their own. TEC putting TapuCocoa a little bit less than half their HP and keeping it going into the corner. Both players have their synergy, and very good call out here with that critical hit grab. With a counter attack in response, TEC. TapuCocoa going into synergy burst. Alright, very good. Couple of hits on that 2x, dashing like a madman. Gonna get the pickup into the burst attack. Combo. Round ender.
With the defense debuff, he's probably going to live, along with the rage.
called it as you saw it. And blocking that homing attack, TEC was ready for it. And Tapu was ready for that counter as well. 30 seconds remain in this game right now. Coming in with that dash into the grab. Barely surviving right now. The bullet punches from afar. Swords dance. Tapu's got to have this shield up for their life dependent on it. But gonna go around the Lapras. Knowing that they were trying to use that support as a coverall, but not gonna actually provide any sort of like counter like other supports would, leaving Tapu wide open there.
Yeah, I think Tapu wasn't a bad call to run the Lapras in this particular matchup, but she wasn't, because she was able to get, there was a couple times, particularly in field, where she was able to catch TEC in the air trying to jump over the Lapras. But there were a couple other times where she may have not gotten as much mileage out of it as she potentially could have. Like often when she would call it up in dual phase, one of the things you get really, one of the things that kind of Lapras kind of serves as, Lapras is basically one big like slow moving projectile. So one of the things you could, I imagine probably one of the reasons Tapu might have went to call for the Lapras support was to give her the ability to close space against TEC. But it didn't seem like she took as much advantage of that as she could have. But aside from that though, yeah.
Yeah, I would say aside from that, that was just a even though Tapu did lose that, TEC got the very strong 3-0. That was still a strong set, because she definitely was cooking with great ideas here and there. She definitely was not going down easily in these rounds. She put up one heck of a fight.
For sure.
But we do give a resounding congratulations to TEC for winning Road to Greatness number 41. Excuse me. Starting off the season with a bang here. Looking to try to take this season too. Because they've already got, because they were the high placing PR winner, whatever you would call it, of season 4, as we saw the graphic released last night or this morning. I think it was last night. One of the two. But if you look in the PR channel, you see that TEC was at the very top of that, because they also won End of the Road number 4 last week. So TEC is just on a grind here. At this point, how many wins in a row is that? I'm gonna just look at the thing real fast.
I believe he's won at least 2 or 3 in a row of the last few weeks with RTG. Yeah, he's won. Let's see, he won the last.
This will be 5, actually.
5? Yeah, it's like 4 or 5.
Because he won 38,
Yeah.
He won 39, he won 40, he won End of the Road, and he just won tonight. So this is literally his 5th win straight.
Forgot about in the road. So yeah. Yeah, that would be 5 in a row, including End of the Road.
Yeah.
So yeah, TEC has been absolute tear.
He is instilling fear, not really, but just just establishing all this dominance in RTG as of late. Because yeah, not counting End of the Road, that's still 4 straight wins for Road to Greatness weeklies. So that is very, very impressive, showing the kind of level we have among our humble server. One of the world's best right here, just showing us why he is considered the best Caesar to grace Pokken.
For sure. Do we want to get him on for an interview?
I'ma see right now. Congrats on the win. Can you do the talking? I didn't say that. I said, are you available for an interview?
I
Oh
mean,
man.
technically you're not wrong.
I'm not wrong technically, but you know, I did ask formally. Jay, welcome to the stream. Says, hey, editing is 75% done. Oh wow. To go from like 58% to 75%? 78%. I, I'm not sure if you're doing like just kind of ballpark numbers or if you like literally looking into your timeline in your editor and seeing that, oh yes, that is actually literally 78% of this project done. He is currently editing a video for his channel because he also has a podcast that I have been on a number of times, dubbed Hero Talks, and his episode he's working on now is fairly big project he's trying to lead into his own Strikers series, similar to what I've been doing so far with Super Mario Strikers, because he's gonna start playing Mario Strikers Charged on his channel on the 17th of April. So if you like my Strikers content, you're gonna love Jay's Strikers content, because he is more than likely better than me still in Charge. I haven't played Charge in a while, but if I can translate my uh my my uh evolution of skill from start of the series from Super Mario Strikers into Charge, I feel like I can go toe to toe. He might still have the slight edge, but I would still say if you were trying to see somebody who is on par or better than myself at playing Strikers, definitely tune into his series once he starts it. The Sunday after next is going to be very exciting to see. Not quite sure on a time just yet, but yes, that's going to be very fun to tune into as well. We're working on it since 5 p.m. Don't burn out with working. Definitely take a break because we about to be watching Sonic anyway. So yeah, I'm glad you came here because I was getting my phone. I was turning around towards the end of us talking just now. I was looking to see if you had messaged anything when it came like 10:30 or 11, because it is about to be that movie time, my dude. But let's see if TEC yours says sure. Just a minute. Alrighty.
Uh,
TEC that
when we
they're good. Says hop in here. TEC, get this interview. Did you say something? Aberration.
I know I was about to say something, but I figured it'd be better to ask him when once he comes back in here because it's
Ah,
related to one of the questions I'm going to ask him.
gotcha. All right. Speak of the devil.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Hey,
Congratulations.
thank you.
How you
Pretty good
feeling?
journey this week.
Yes. Actually, fairly big for like a beginner of a season.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Got some a good tough opponents here to train against today. Always good practice.
Absolutely. So since he's already said that he's got at least one or so questions, Aberration gonna start us off with this here interview.
All right. Thank you. I guess I'll go ahead and start. So TEC, if correct me if I'm wrong from my memory a couple of weeks ago. Did I, the last time we did an interview, did I ask you about whether or not you were going to be? Actually, I think I asked you about nationals. I don't think I had asked you about Battle at Lake Valor. Did I?
Oh yeah.
I don't
Are you
think so,
planning on
but
going?
yes, I will be making it to that one. So as far as I know.
Sweet.
Awesome. So related to that, is there a particular matchup you are kind of focusing on or kind of worried about ahead of the bracket, or maybe like maybe a particular situation you've been kind of labbing out that you're kind of being wary of ahead of the tournament?
Typically, I don't really want to worry too much about situations of certain characters. It would more so just be a certain character that I'm fearful of. But I feel like I don't know. It's just obviously the the Winter Brawl win accounts for this, but I just feel like I've been handling a lot of my personal weaknesses in terms of matchups a bit more well than I used to. Like I know for one of my personal weaknesses as a player has been facing Sceptile, and now I've been able to beat both of them. I'm pretty sure it's pretty safe to say that Wise and Jukum are two of the greatest Sceptiles in the entire continent, and I'm now been able to beat both of them in bracket. I beat Wise at Frosties, and I beat Jukum at Winter Brawl. So
Oh
I
wow,
feel
yeah.
like with my Sceptile experience, I've been able to not completely undo that weakness, but just be better at handling that matchup, and just other characters that I've been more inexperienced at facing, like Empoleon and Pikachu, and I don't know, can't think of anything else on the top of my head, but yeah, just like more uncommon matchups and personal weaknesses that I've had, I've been able to do fairly well at. Obviously, there's still just bad matchups, inexperienced matchups, because I can't face every character at every moment, but I just, as a whole, I just feel more whole in my matchups. I don't feel like I have any glaring weakness to my personal play style at this moment, but I'm sure something due to inexperience or something like that could still slip me out. So I have to just be wary of that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can 100% understand that mentality given your performance in several recent events. I guess in my next question, um, it's kind of interesting. I'm not necessarily counting on like a Pokken sequel per se, but as long as the Pokemon Company continues to host Pokken at their official circuit, I believe the chances aren't zero. So kind of along that vein, um, if Bandai Namco, or if the development team from Bandai Namco, or I believe Hoshino was the name of the one of the head developers from the Pokken development team, came to you and asked if there was something you could currently change to, if there was a change you could make it to Scissor's current move set, or like make a change to one of his moves he already has, what would it be? I
Oh, that's
have a
interesting.
potential idea of how you might answer, but I'm curious to see what you would say personally.
First of all, if I were to meet a Pokken developer, I would die first. Then when I got back up from dying, I would then ask. Okay, actually no, that takes a bit of thought. Just like any one move from Scizor, you're saying?
Yeah, if you could change something about any of Scissor's current moves, what would it be?
Uh, that is a good question, actually.
Very good.
I would say, because the thing is, like, a lot of Scissor's moves, even ones that look weak, they 99% of them have a purpose. Even if one move is bad at doing a lot of other things, they have a purpose. U-turn's a DP, aerial ace is a combo ender. My jabs are good at starting combos at really laggy punishes. Like, they have less scaling, but I feel like there's one move that I hardly ever use, and there's no reason to use this move, and that is 5x. Now, 5x is it's a very quirky move because it's a launcher, but that can go into Scissor's unique hover jump. That can go into all the basketball combos, but there is literally no reason to use this move. And what's funny was I think this was like over a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago now. I remember there was this moment a long time ago that I was actually hyped for 5x because 5x has this projectile deletion quality to it. But then I found out that Bullet Punch basically just does the exact same thing, but better. And it can be done at 3 different levels. So I'm like, okay, this one quirk that I found at 5x is basically moot, and any other quirk that 5x has, it's just bad. It has terrible scaling. It's slow. Okay, the one good thing about it is that it's a 19 frame move that's decent on shield, but again, it's a low with no range, with terrible scaling. The only wacky thing you can get off of a 5x is you can get the 5x into 6YY, because for some reason 6YY, if you hit someone in the air with the 6YY, that counts as like a, what am I trying to say, not like a spike. I'm thinking of smash for some reason, but like it basically sends them straight down into a dragging knockdown. So it's a super weird property when you hit somebody in the air with it, and you can set that up with 5x, but again, never gonna get that. And what's funny is it's a low move, and technically it does duck things, but not until frame 13. So you're never gonna duck something with it, and because the move itself has no active frames, there's like no way you could use that property to duck under something and then hit somebody. So it's just like, and as of now, that really is the one move that I feel has literally no use, because every other move, even the most uncommon ones that Scizor has, have some kind of use. Like 4Y is a decent poke that's good on block, and 2x, it has decently good range and can duck highs frame 1. So they have something, but 5x just doesn't have anything. And even when you hit somebody with it, it does no damage. So it's just like 5x needs to be changed somehow. I get that it's a launcher, but like it is literally the worst way to start combos with Scizor. You'd never want to use it to hit somebody because you're just going to do less damage no matter what.
Yeah, along the lines of erasing projectiles too. Like if you're trying to like deal with opponents trying to zone you, couldn't you kind of do something similar with the startup of 5A? You like use the initial armor to like parry the projectile and then throw your own projectile with the follow-up and then kind of go in from there.
Well, sometimes I don't want to use counter armor because, like, take for instance, Lucario Aura Sphere. Lucario Aura Sphere, like at level 3, takes up makes you sit in armor for a long time. Right? There's so many hits to it, and there's so meaty on counter armor. If I commit to a Swords Dance and use the armor of Swords Dance to try and armor through that, it's gonna take a long time. But Bullet Punch literally just like. Mostly I just do the 1A, because 1A Bullet Punch is an 11 frame move that has fairly low cooldown on it. So you just pop out an 11 frame attack that opens up right in front of your face, and that active hitbox phases through any projectiles. Not every projectile, but like most of them, because it can take level 3 Aura Spheres. It can take out I'm trying to think. It basically can beat every version of Lucario's Aura Sphere besides bursted level 3. Even level 1 and level 2 in bursts get deleted by Bullet Punch. But
What?
the level 3 laser, that's a laser, that can't be deleted by Bullet Punch. But everything else is fair game. And because this is a quick 11 frame move with little cooldown, I'm using that to deflect a projectile from afar. They're not going to punish that. So I don't have to sit in armor forever to tank that hit and get to go in and do whatever I want. I can use the Bug Bite follow-up after Bug Bite to then cancel it and use that as movement to get in or do whatever I want. So that's usually how I would deal with projectiles like that. Because using Bullet Punch to delete those kinds of projectiles is just better than 5x. 5x can technically do it, but Bullet Punch just does the job better in every way.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was actually going to say, the move that I was thinking of, 5x actually makes a lot more sense and is probably more relevant in terms of like what should probably be changed from Scizor's moveset first. But the thing I was actually thinking of, now they've kind of done an adjustment to this in the past, with Scizor's follow up out of Bullet Punch. I believe it's X Scizor. It's like with the 2AX. It has the animation of like a just frame, and there is a just frame timing on it. But initially when they dropped Scizor, if memory serves correctly, the timing for the just frame was really weird. And then in a later patch, they adjusted the timing so that it could be it's a little more consistent. But the thing I found really weird about the change was that while they changed the just frame timing to make it a little more doable, they did not change that golden flash animation that you would normally only get with a just frame. It does it like it does the little ping regardless of whether you have the just frame or not. So the thing I was
No,
thinking,
there's an added flash to Scissors X's Just Frame. Like it still has a yellow glow when you land it, but not only does it have that audio cue, but like Scissors, like the little X's or animation will look the same, but Scissors' whole body will glow yellow for a second when you land the Just Frame. That doesn't happen if you don't get it. That's the key
oh,
difference.
okay.
The Scissors' whole body glows on the Just Frame, not just like the little X's or animation looks the same. I think. Yeah, you're right on that. But Scissors' entire body will glow yellow when he gets the Just Frame on it.
Oh, okay. So they did distinguish that between those two. I didn't notice that. Thank you for pointing that out. But yeah, I was kind of hoping that they would if they were to go back and revisit that they might distinguish that a little more. But as you pointed out, there is a distinction, although it's not as obvious as with like other Just Frames, like say like Mewtwo's Scythe Strike or something like that. So, but yeah, like you mentioned, the 5X seems overall like a more relevant and worthwhile change to kind of prioritize, because that seems like the one move that Scizor just really literally never ever uses, and it's kind of a shame because if you're going for a launcher, or if you're getting a launch combo, you're either, when you're doing it from 6X, it's usually from a punish on block or from the parry into the hover stance transition. So it would be kind of nice if Scizor could find a little more use for something like a 5X or like a safe launcher. Although maybe I'm kind of wondering from the dev perspective if they intentionally made the scaling on that move as they did because they didn't want Scizor to get like a ton of damage maybe off of a safe launcher. Maybe they wanted you to rely a bit more on your launch conversions that you would get from punishes that you would use in like a 6X. But it would be nice to see like 5X get some other kind of like utility, at least if they're gonna keep like if they don't touch the scaling. It would be nice if they gave it some kind of useful property, or maybe like some kind of way you could use it in a conversion or something to like just give it something you could use it for. But yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting.
Here's what I think though, because I was just thinking about this, and I've actually said this before a while back. So one thing that I've always found weird is that a particular movement of Scizor is incredibly limited to very certain moves. Like the movement of Scizor when he zooms up into the air to follow somebody after he hits them, the hover jump. The hover jump. That can only be used after Bullet Punch or 5X or wait, is there a third? I don't even know. Or is it? Yeah, it's just the Bullet Punches and 5X, or unless I'm missing one. So this hover jump is super limited. I was thinking maybe that can be used in different ways, because imagine, like, the thing is, Scizor, his aerial control as a whole isn't terrible, because if he gets really good reads in the air with JY combo starters, he can get good damage, but as a whole, his air game isn't that good because his jump is very stubby, and you don't ever want to commit to hover in the air because landing with it is super laggy, and the movement of it is very slow. Like the movement of hover is only really there to keep you up in the air to do basketball combos. Like you're bouncing them down, they come back up, you're still there in order to keep doing reps. That's what hover's there for. But the hover jump, the act of him going up in the air and following somebody, that's never used outside of Bullet Punch and 5X in order to follow them up. So maybe that could be used. Like, obviously they would have to balance it some way. Like, you can't have that kind of movement and still get that kind of damage off of JY. So like maybe if you were to use that specific hover jump action, you'd have a bit more scaling. But I think there'd be a cool way to give Scizor some cool air control if he could do that hover jump after more actions, like not just as a free. I'm not talking like, as free as Sceptile's Leech Seed prep, but something like, just give him a different way to use that action so he can like surprise somebody who likes to be in the air a lot, or just something that can give him a bit more aerial control while still holding true to the tools that Scizor already has. It's not just giving him something new to make him better. It's just giving him more options with what he has, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of interesting, and that's probably the way you answered that at the end. I was thinking about maybe doing a follow up with maybe like asking about like if you could give Scizor like a new move, but you kind of like touched up on like Scizor. A lot of Scizor's moves are already pretty good. Um, it's not that like he's lacking for good moves overall, like or like for usefulness of his overall utility of his move set. It's just a matter of when he might be able to, or whether he could use a little bit. He could utilize certain moves a little more in certain areas. So I think you actually answered that pretty well.
Yeah,
Sheen, was
it's just
there?
more like, or go ahead.
No, sorry. If you have something else to add on that front, go ahead.
What I was saying was like to give him more freedom in how to use his tools, because this is honestly why he became so like after the patch where Scizor got the the bug bite individual move as well as the cancel out of bug bite and the dash cancel out of swords dance, like that added freedom to his kit made like it gave him an entirely new dimension. I'm not going to go over the whole thing again because I'm sure I've said this a million times now, but it's just like the amount of added options that Scizor had with swords after he got that dash cancel. It literally added an entire new dimension to his game. It gave him a projectile, it gave him zoning, it gave him Okies, it gave him everything under the sun with one move, just because they added a new level of freedom in how he can use it. So I was wondering like how that would apply to hover jump if they gave it more ways to be used after other moves, or as a certain kind of command that can be done, like maybe after like swords dance or something. I don't know. I have to think about it more. This is just more off the top of my head now, but like just that added freedom he got in just one patch turned his entire world on its head. It was a fun time, and I feel like you don't need to give Scizor new moves. His moves are already good for the most part. Yeah, he just needs to be given a bit more freedom in how they can be used.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, that makes sense. I like that answer. Uh, I think that's pretty much all I had on my end. Sheen, was there anything you wanted to ask TEC?
I I didn't have anything, to be honest. Like those were good questions that you asked. Like what, like how could you adjust Caesar's moveset, or like or opening up with the the major travel, Winter Brawl and such. Like Valor. Um, yeah, that's yeah. I was actually curious about that because I had seen Lemon advertising Lake Valor. I'm like, yo, I kind of wonder if TEC will make their way to that, and getting the confirmation here, more than likely we will be seeing that name come across those little graphics that we see the artists make. Might see TEC come through top 8, might be top 3, might be seeing some more hype gameplay at the highest of high levels. But as far as
I think
questions
that,
for me, nah.
yeah, when it comes to Valor, I'm sure people are gonna be prepared for me now. So it's like
Mhm.
I am fully expecting a very very tough road ahead
Oh
for
yes.
ages to come. Now that I've been able to make such a trek in Winter Brawl, going through so many big names in one tournament, I feel like that was a time for people are going to be practicing the matchup, basically practicing for me because you know when it comes to scissors in North America that go to offline events, usually I'm the only one, but there are other people who play Scizor. It's just that I'm the only Scizor solo main. Like other people play Scizor as secondaries, which is totally fine, and they can practice for that. But now that a Scizor solo main has won a major, it's probably going to be, probably a bit more harsh on their practice when it comes to fighting and how their characters fight against Scizor. So I don't expect it to be an easy road. It's going to be pretty tough going from here on out.
Oh
Well,
no,
it's good that you're not.
absolutely not. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say it's good that you're not getting complacent because it's kind of easy when you've been winning so much, like of the recent events that you've been like between winning online, like winning online in Road to Greatness, winning
5 times
in
straight.
the online weeklies in the main server, and then taking a big W at an offline major. Uh, Recently, it's kind of easy to kind of like rest on your or it's kind of easy to be tempted to rest on your laurels, but it's good to see that you're not you're not just simply gonna kind of get a little soft after achieving as much as you've had. So it'll be
Not being
so it'll
comfortable,
be
right?
fun to see how you'll be able to handle some of these people who are going to be coming after you in bracket at Lake Valor in a few weeks here.
But no matter what, it's going to be a fun time. But it's going to be
Oh
tough.
yeah.
But I'll try for another win. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We will see indeed. We wish you all the luck for sure at Lake Valor.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, that's about all I had. So yeah, we'll see how it all goes next week.
Yes, we will. We will see if you get your 6th win in a row. My only question I was thinking of it all was how does it feel winning, like technically 5 times in a row, counting end of the road last week?
Well, even this is not like even this is road to greatness. It's just I've said this multiple times online now. It's just that more and more people are becoming threats, and people are using weeklies like this or the main chord or the new stuff like what the dev chord is whipping up. Like these
Yeah.
weeklies and monthlies are turning more and more online players into monsters. So it's no easy feat to be able to beat some of these opponents anymore. Like you saw was it last week or week before, whichever, how I got completely thrown into the dirt at Polar Bear at one point.
Yeah.
And came back. That was friend of the road. Yeah, got completely thrown in the dirt by Polar Bear, who's been getting really good with Lucario. Managed to make a run back, but yeah, people like that are becoming more and more powerful as time goes on, and they'll go to more and more offline tournaments and make splashes there. So there's no reason to underestimate people even here in weeklies and monthlies. So it's still pretty nice to be able to get this kind of streak.
Oh no, yeah.
Sure.
You're using the Cola Bear example. Like this man used Oro in real life. He had the comeback mechanic on deck. Oh my god. But then you came back and clutched it, like you said. You came back with your own aura, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So you love to see it. But yeah, glad that I'm glad that you're always finding the enjoyment. Like even like when you're seeing these people become better, like you say, like they're getting more powerful, and you're still finding just the pure enjoyment. Like it's not frustrating to you. You still find it fun, and I love that.
Yeah, it's always nice to find, no matter who you're fighting, it's always nice to find new experiences and new players, see how new minds interact with these characters, and just get more knowledge altogether, because that's the whole point of this game, and my own goal being striving to be the greatest Pokken player I can be and the greatest Scizor player I can be. So just takes more knowledge to do so.
Wise words. I like it. But we won't hold you any longer. Aberration, that was all that you had question-wise for TEC here?
That was pretty much all I had this week. Yep.
Cool, cool. We thank you again for your time, TEC, and congrats once again for winning the first RTG of Season 5.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. Have a good rest of your night.
You too, you
Thanks
too.
for doing
Thank you.
Later.
Later. Alright. That is going to be our time here for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So, that is going to wrap up Road to Greatness number 41. Like I said, the opener of Season 5. Actually, really strong opener. We had a shakeup in terms of top 3. It was different this time around. We had TapuCocoa and Aldrake come, and they were just really good competition for TEC. And but even so, TEC would manage to still stand on top, starting things off here as your champion. So congrats to them once again. And thank you guys for tuning into the stream. If you liked what you saw here and want to see more in terms of Pokken, Smash, Strikers, and more Nintendo content, then be sure to hit that follow button to be notified the minute I go live next. And then we give special thanks once again to Aberration here for helping us on the microphone with the commentary.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be here, and I'm looking forward to stepping on the mic again in the weeks ahead.
And we'll be happy to have you in as many of them as you can attend, and as many as I can actually showcase, because with me being off and on busy, who knows if I'll be able to stream, all of them going forward. But I still try to be here as much as I can. Try to provide for the good Pokken peoples. But yes, that is a wrap for this evening. With all that said, I think we are done here. This has been Darsheen, aka Yoshi96, and Aberration. And we are signing out for now, but definitely not forever. Have an amazing rest of your night or day, depending on where you are. Stay safe, please, in these times. God bless. Keep on being awesome. Thank you for watching again. I will see you guys next time.